In this video, we are discussing absolute value, which is another way of saying distance from 0. So, when we're dealing with absolute value, it's easiest to look at a number line. So, if you take a look at the number line on the screen, we have 0, of course, right in the center here. And we have integers, positive and negative whole numbers on either side. So, we can go all the way up to 6 on the right and all the way to negative 6 on the left. So absolute value tells us how far something is from 0. Okay? Now, a really important thing about distance is always positive. Always positive. Okay? We might have positive or negative numbers, but that negative sign is going to help us with direction. It's not going to help us with how far something is. Distance always has to be positive. So, for example, we will have the absolute value. This is one way. The ABS is one way of abbreviating absolute value of 3. Now, the way you will see this written most of the time is 3 with 2 vertical lines next to it, okay? These vertical lines tell us that we're dealing with absolute value. In other words, the distance from 0, okay? So we have positive 3 is what's inside here. So I look at my number line, and from 3, I am 1, 2, 3 units away from 0. The absolute value of 3 is 3. Another example is negative 4. Now here, I'm starting on the negative side, and I'm working towards 0. Again, I'm looking for the distance from 0. So how far away are we? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. The absolute value of negative 4 is 4. Notice both of the answers that I just gave are positive. It's always positive because we're talking about how far away it is. We're not talking about which direction it is. So negative 4 is to the left, right? But it's still 4 units away from 0. Absolute value of negative 8. On your paper, I want you to write what you think it is. I'll give you about 2 seconds here. And I don't have 8 on here, but I can imagine it's 2 more, right? Negative 7, negative 8. And I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you said positive 8, you are correct. But anytime we have these absolute value signs, really what you're going to do is you're going to simplify whatever's inside. And you are going to keep the positive version of whatever that is. The last example I'm going to show you is negative 8 plus 2. Now, you will be doing the adding integers lesson here shortly, but I'm going to show you how to do this for just a moment. So, as I just previously mentioned, these absolute value bars kind of act like parentheses, which is why later on I will show you our PEMDAS this year is going to be GEMDAS, G-E-M-D-A-S, and G stands for grouping, not just parentheses, because these are not parentheses, but we still have to do everything inside of them before we can actually do the absolute value. So it's a grouping symbol, okay? So negative 8 plus 2, you're about to learn. I am going to subtract because I have different signs. 8 minus 2 is 6. But the 8 is bigger, so I'm going to put the negative sign. I'm going to keep that negative sign with it. But now my absolute value, remember, it has to always be positive. So now that I have simplified negative 8 plus 2 to negative 6, now I'm going to find my final answer of 6. Okay, negative 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units from 0.